Hey everybody, thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. I'm Mojo if you're new, and today we're going to be tearing down my 6.1 Hemi. And so if you didn't know already, and if you don't follow me on TikTok, I am going to be ripping this motor completely apart. Actually, we're going to be ripping this engine apart, and we're going to be doing a 426 stroker kit. And I already have the kit ordered. It's going to take about 3 or 4 weeks to get the rotating assembly completely balanced. They said that it would take 3 or 4 weeks to do that, and I've been talking to them on and off. It's CNC Motorsports, but anyway, I'm gonna get started on taking this thing apart, and I basically put you guys on time lapses, whatever. If you have any questions, go ahead and just ask them in the comments, and I'm pretty good at responding to comments. So see you guys at the end. Okay, so this is where we're at. I'll probably end up starting with just removing the motor mounts, remove the AC compressor. Yeah, obviously motor mount over here. And I have to remove this. This is the SLP underdrive pulley that I bought. It's 15% overdrive. And it actually doesn't work well with my brand new crankshaft that I'm getting for the 426 kit. So actually what I'm going to do is pull this, buy a new one that works really well with it, with the kit that I'm getting. And then I'll end up just selling this. I wish I would have just done some research before I did it, but I didn't even plan on doing the stroker kit since I got my job in the middle of doing all of this work to the car. So we're going to pull this off, remove the AC compressor, motor mounts, and then we'll go to the water pump and the timing cover, basically work in reverse from what we did. So I guess I'll just throw you guys on a time lapse. Okay everybody, so this is the underside of the block with the rotating assembly still bolted together. To remove the oil pan gasket, you have to pull the oil pickup tube. There's a 13 mil here and a 13 mil nut here. Take off the bolt and the nut, you can pull it right out. Then you can remove your oil pan gasket, and I just threaded these back in so I don't lose them, because I will eventually be mating them back together. But as you can see, oil squirters, there's some badass stuff. Got some cross hatching still down there. It's pretty sick. So what we're going to do is I'm going to mark these 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 8 with the scribing tool. And then what we're going to do is start unbolting the caps from the rods, remove the cap, and then push out the rod and piston through the bottom, or I guess the top, and just make our way all the way down. And I guess if you have any questions, just ask.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so this is actually it's kind of zoomed in. I have 12 millimeter. I'm going to be cracking these this cam cap, or this, not cam cap, this rod cap loose on the number 1 cylinder. You just want to crack it loose. I don't want to loosen it too much. Okay, so now that they're both really loose, I'm going to take my socket off and just unthread them. And these are actually rod bolts. They're not studs with nuts. I think the bolt method is actually stronger in my opinion. And we didn't have to use a rubber mallet. Sometimes you'll have to use a rubber mallet on these caps because they're so stuck to the actual rod. Pop this off. My bearing stayed attached to there's some wear for sure. I'll show you guys quick. Here's my bearing. I don't know how well you can see that. Oh, there you are. Just a little bit of wear, nothing crazy. This came out of a car that was running perfectly fine. So, just make sure you don't scratch up your cylinder walls or your crank journals. All right, so this is number one. As you can see, the F marks forward, and you have some numbers right there. Not really exactly sure what those numbers mean, to be honest with you, but that little scuff right there, that's from the end of the hammer. I used the wooden part of the hammer to push it out because it was stuck on the oil rings. But like I mentioned earlier, it's nothing that I wouldn't expect. This is running beautifully. So just pulling these out, I'm gonna put the cap back on the connecting rod and piston, and I have a box dedicated to put these in. Okay, everybody, so they all came out nice and easy. I had no issues, but I just want to be completely honest with you guys. Check out cylinder number, or the fourth journal on the crank. You can't really see it actually with the camera, but I can catch a nail on this. So just based off of what we think, we're really close to spinning a bearing here. You can catch your fingernail on it easy every single time. So if I do plan on selling this, I'm 100% going to get this turned and cleaned up. So I just want to show you guys what was up. Every other journal looked really, really, really good. You know, as you would expect out of a running car. But even the middle of the cylinder is looking pretty good just for having that much wear on them. But yeah, that's the only surprise, I guess, that we had. So we can't take off the pulley tonight because we don't have the right length bolts. So all this stuff has to stay on. Probably just throw plastic over this, leave her for the night. All right, everybody, we're back with the Charger. We pulled the pulley off. Actually, it just took a while. It just needed to be impacted off. I'm gonna pull off the timing cover, water pump, and then I'll be able to pull the cam out along with the timing components, and then get ready to turn it over and pull the crank out. Alright guys, so now I have the crank, or the cam bolt taken out. So what I'm going to do is keep this assembly together, pull the cam sprocket off of the dowel of the cam, and keep the chain tight as I pull on the crank sprocket. It'll all come out together in one assembly like that. Set this off to the side, and we can take off the tensioner.
Synchro, 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 synchro.
Okay, everybody, so you have the 5 8mm bolts for the rear main seal. You can pull that bad boy off, and then we will be able to flip the engine over again and start removing the main caps and pull the crank out. So since we are working with the Hemi, we have cross-bolted main caps. So there's actually a bolt on either side of the main caps, along with the two that bolt into the block. So we're going to crack these loose. We're not going to go any more than cracking them loose, and then go on the outsides and crack those loose. We'll do the outsides first and then the top ones, and then we'll be able to pull them out one at a time. So here's the orientation. So I laid these down in the same orientation as we took them off. I'm going to use this video as future reference as well. So when you take these caps off, you're going to have the arrows on 1, 2, 4, and 5 on the top. And you'll have a serial number here and the arrow on the third one on the bottom side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the crank out. We'll figure out what we're going to do first. We don't want to take it out and just lay it around. We're going to set everything up. We'll throw the bolt in it. We'll hang it from the crane. And then from there, we're going to grease up all these journals, throw it in a plastic bag, and store her away for maybe a future build. So here it is. The crank is officially out. I have the oil squirters removed and all of the bolts taken out of the block. The only thing I have left is the sensors. I take those out and mark those properly. And this is completely a bare block minus the cam bearings and these head alignment dowels. Everything else will be removed. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one where I actually show you guys my kit. I bought my transmission kit. I even have the book to make sure I study up on it and know exactly what I'm doing. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a badass video. I will go through. It's a $2,300 kit. I actually already started making the video, so I can drop it next week. I will have the video on the trans kit released next week. Stay tuned for that. And check over at my TikTok, Mojo GT, as well. I make really good content over there. Especially if you like this content, you'll love my TikTok content. Check out my Facebook. It's Mojo GT as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.